I smell like bacon. My hand. You ever have bacon and eggs for dinner? You ever do breakfast for dinner?
I just did. I didn't have anything. I put a bunch of eggs and broccoli and onions and what's that called? A pepper in there. And it wasn't as horrifying as it.
That sounds pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, we had bacon and eggs for dinner, and I washed my hands, but I still smell like bacon. Sorry, ladies, I'm married.
I keep forgetting. I'm not being a very good co-host.
Not in love anymore, baby. Keep forgetting things will never be the same again. Keep forgetting every time you're near.
Oh my jeez.
The sooner you agree to start this podcast, the sooner I stop singing.
You know, if I was the last person on Earth, some moron would turn left in front of me.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. We don't judge people who put ketchup on hot dogs. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hi, I'm Darin.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. This is episode 196.
We're going to annoy you this evening.
More so than normal?
Or day, because we're going to mention Dune 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be in the hashtags, and I'm going to talk about it,
Yep.
but Darin hasn't seen it. And to avoid spoilers, I'm going to talk about Dune 2 in the most prophylactic way I can.
Hello. Yeah. I watched the original Dune, so I have an idea.
Kyle MacLachlan
Kyle MacLachlan.
and Sting.
God, that's a bad movie.
You know what we did? When we finished Dune 2, I told the kids and Bess, I was like, we need to watch the 80s one with the comical, because it'll be like so bad it's good.
Exactly.
I mean, it has its. I do enjoy the original 80s Dune.
Yeah.
It's got a certain je ne
Je ne
sais
sais
quoi.
quoi. Fluma.
But it's so all over the place.
It's so bad.
Like when we got to the end of Dune 2, I was like, oh, so that's what was going on in that movie from 30 or 40 years ago. That's what, literally 40 years ago.
Well, the new version, Dune 1, ends at a place.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching.
Sam and Frodo see Mount Doom in the background.
Exactly.
And then it just stops. And somebody in the back of the ear goes, what the f-?
It's Mount Dune.
Mount Dune.
Mount Dune. That's where they get the name of the movie.
Yeah.
So you read, Mike.
Yes.
So I'm watching the original Dune.
Yes.
And we get to that part. And then everything after that was like, oh, and then I was like new to it and couldn't figure out, because I never watched the original Dune.
Uh-huh.
Years ago, I was at my buddy Nathan's house and he was watching it, and I could not stay awake to save my life.
Yeah.
And
it's a bit of it's a little dry.
It's a little cheese-tastic. It is so. Oh my God!
It's
the dude with all the things on his face. It looks like you could pop one and stuff and just spurt
Baron
everywhere.
Vladimir Harkonnen, or as they're called in the new Dunes,
the Baron
Harkonnen, which annoys the shit out of me every time. Tennessee Chattanooga says Harkonnen, I want to say it's Harkonnen.
It's Harkonnen.
Jean-Luc Picard said Harkonnen.
Yes.
Kyle MacLachlan said Harkonnen. Sting said Harkonnen. It's Harkonnen.
Harkonnen.
It's not Harkonnen.
No.
It's Harkonnen.
Harkonnen, David. Yeah.
I hope you don't think it's Harkonnen.
I hope you're not planning on blaming Conan for this. But you like Dune 2?
I loved it so much.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's really, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to talk about the stuff around it.
Okay.
That's in my Flumon.
Yeah.
But you have a Dune-ish topic. I saw Catan is like Dune.
Well, yeah, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. I was unable to go this weekend, which really bummed me out and bummed the entire family out because we haven't been to a movie in months.
We haven't.
It's been forever since we've been to the movie. And my mom was like, how come we never go to the movies? I'm like, because there's nothing worth going to the movies to see.
Yeah.
And if you have any type of streaming service, it used to be you could go back in my day, you'd go to the movies and you'd go see, oh, that looks interesting. That looks cute, right? And you'd go see the somewhat interesting kind of cute. You'd take a chance.
Like Psychos did in the 80s, just walking down the street by a movie theater. Hey, would you like to let's go see a moving picture?
Air Bud. That looks pretty good. Yeah. I like dogs. Yeah. So, we would take a chance on a movie, but anymore when it's, however much it costs. I don't even remember how much tickets cost to see
Taking a chance on the movie is how I saw your Warrior of the Future and RoboCop. Both very different movies.
You know what? I'm trying to think of a movie that I wasn't sure what it was going to be and went and really loved it. And
batteries not included, I bet. You remember that one? It was basically a Cocoon with robots.
That's true, yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome was deleted for reasons we can't get into right now. We now return to the show, already in progress.
This is where the Twitch people, this is the benefit of the Twitch thing. We can go down a road, realize there be bears, and then go back to the main trail.
Tomorrow morning at breakfast, you remember yesterday when we were on the Twitch and Mike and Darin were talking about Bill Murray and Chevy Chase, and it went nowhere? Oh, God, that was awesome. I am so glad that I was a part of that. Yeah. That's what they're going to say. Yeah. So Dune 2.
Dune 2, yes, is exceptional.
Yeah.
I highly I know you don't like to do this. You don't like to go to the fancy theaters. You like to go to the ones that are, you just see it and you go home. I highly recommend either seeing it in the IMAX or the Dolby, because the sounds of the thopters.
The thumpers.
Yeah. And the way.
Did you say thopter?
Thopters.
They're thumpers.
They're thopters. The ornithopters, the helicopter.
Not the thing that they put in the sand. Those are thumpers.
Those are thumpers.
Okay.
Yeah. Thumpers, thopters.
Thumper,
you put the thumpers on the thopters.
Thopter, thumper.
Yeah.
Uma, Oprah.
Wow. Okay. The sound, especially, and it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, especially when the big sandworm comes up. And it makes a sound like, you remember, and I know you hate the Star Wars prequels.
Oh, God.
But the Star Wars prequels are worth it for this one sound where Obi-Wan is chasing one of the Boba Fett's, Boba 3 or something, and they throw out these like sonic, it goes, and everything goes quiet, and it goes, you know what I'm talking about? So the worm has this thing, goes like, it like roars, but it's like a, it doesn't go, it's like a, it's like got like a, it's got a thing to it, And
so what you're saying, it says, meh.
Yeah, you need to, it's like beeper, but with more bass to it. You need to be in a heavy sound system, because we felt it as much as we heard it. And with that big up there on the IMAX screen right in front of you going, you want to hit that in your chest, because it's a moment. And like the next frame is the Sardaukar, the hardcore emperors, like warriors that can't be destroyed.
Right.
They get their asses handed to them every time you see them.
Spoiler alert, yeah. Like stormtroopers.
They
can't shoot anybody, but
they're back up and they're like, this. Yeah. We're going the other way.
Screw you guys.
I don't know if
I'm going home.
There's a big ass worm going, and By the way, have you seen where somebody took the trailer and put googly eyes on the worms?
That's nice.
As I put googly eyes on them, it's hard for me to trust them, hence googly eyes.
But I digress.
Okay. Yeah.
I almost passed out there. Yeah. Anyway, go see it in a very high sounding place. There is approximately 90 to 95 minutes of previews. Now they're all movies you're going to want to see.
Okay.
But Andrew and I got to the point, we got through like 6 or 7 previews. And I'm not kidding.
It's like,
we got like 6 or 7 of them. And then it started a next preview. And either me or Andrew would like just throw our hands up like, come on.
Yeah.
And then guess who shows
Nicole
her
Kidman.
ass up? Yeah. Nicole Kidman comes out and talks about how here it's magic.
It's like, again, like Jimmy Kimmel said, thank you for encouraging people to go to the movies while you're in the movies.
Right. And so I don't want to throw shade on anyone. Okay. I'm a nerd.
You're not one of the guys that does that.
I'm not.
No.
I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet. I had to see, you know how I am. I had to see it in the IMAX. We were dead center, which meant I was seated. I always end up on one end and Bess is on the other.
Well, yeah, you got to keep the kids roped
kidlets are in between there.
Kidlets?
This lady, and I'm assuming her husband, boyfriend, whoever, sitting right next to me, felt the need to comment on every single trailer. And I know that I know she's talking to him. She wasn't talking to me, but she was talking to him, but it was one of those voices, like it would be a thing. I don't know what it was. It was like, I'm trying Ghostbusters. The new Ghostbusters thing was like that.
Frozen, yeah.
Oh, that looks interesting. It's a Frozen world this time. Jesus. And then we would go through the next trailer, and it was like a rom-com where the guy's an asshole, but he's going to end up being like
cute.
a heart of gold.
Yeah.
That would end. I think he's the good guy, really.
Uh-huh.
Then it would go, and it's The Rock is in something, and it's like, he still has muscles. He's just like these inane it's like,
just, yeah.
So just a general comment for all of you out there in public. When you're talking to the person you came to the movies with, you're talking to the other 6 people directly in front of you, to the side of you, and behind
beside.
of you.
Yeah.
Before you say something, you need to make sure that you're okay with all of them hearing that.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise,
absolutely.
Otherwise, lean in and do the whisper.
I think he's the good guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Oh, this one's a Frozen one.
I'm pretty sure that Ryan Gosling actually has those abs, and they're not CGI.
I think he's sexy.
Yeah. There was a Ryan Gosling movie. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Gosling.
But
okay. Reynolds is in it, I think. Reynolds.
Oh, are you kidding? Double the Ryan?
It was a remake of something.
Holy crap!
But anyway,
was it
that ended, and she's like, he is so cute. It's like, oh, dude.
And here's the thing, okay? It's like, I'm with you. I don't like all the trailers, but if I'm going to watch them, I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
And I don't like hearing people talk over the trailers, even though I don't like the trailers.
Yeah.
What's with that? What's the deal with that? Who are these people? Yeah, I don't want to hear the trailers, but I don't want you talking over them either.
And the whole time I'm thinking, I hope that I'm not seated by somebody that has read the books, because let me tell you something about the Dune fan club. I had to leave it. I had to unfollow it. I'm still in it. I had to unfollow it because there's 2 things going on. On Thursday night, they started seeing it because you could go Thursday for like the super nerds. You could go and get your steel Atreides bucket
and then
full
you
of
can
popcorn.
Go get laid because you saw it at midnight. You saw it before anybody else. And girls are gonna, like, their knees are going to buckle.
Your Harkonnen gummies
drop.
And see this.
Harkonnen.
And then they get on there. And it's like, this movie's an offensive. It doesn't. Nothing like the book.
That's not what happened in the book.
And then the next person was like, it was like Jesus came out of the screen and saved my soul as I was watching it.
Yeah.
So you have that going on, and then you have my favorite people, the trolls. And there's one.
That's me.
Oh my Lord. There's one that I really need a shout out, and I did not catch his name because I had to unfollow the group. But he was in probably one of the biggest internet fights I've seen. And he was staying in character. He was upset that Dune had stolen everything from Star Wars. It's a desert planet. It's a kid. His parents are his dad. Okay, what else? He meets an old guy in the desert and it's showing him the way.
He has the force. He has the voice.
He's got the voice.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And people were like, Dune was written in the 60s and Star Wars was written in the 70s. That's what they want you to think.
Dune was written 12 years before Star Wars.
And
I heard Frank Herbert had a hard time.
It did not deter him. He put a picture of Jabba the Hutt right next to the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen and said, "Gee, can you come up with a single original idea?"
Oh my God, it's hysterical. I wish
they
I
had
was
the
doing
sandworms, and then they showed the
Sarlacc.
Sarlacc.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the dude was glorious. Whoever you are, I hope you listen. If you should listen to this show. This is the perfect show for a person of your stature. Yeah. So if you are a listener, please let us know.
Yeah, come on the show.
Oh, my Lord. It was beautiful. The movie itself, like I said, you need to see it with an exceptionally sounding theater.
Okay.
The picture's not that, but the sound. It's shot beautifully.
Oh, yeah.
There are some very, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The story, there's a lot more story in this one than I thought there would be. Because if you're using the 80s Dune as a template,
it's
80s, like the last half of the 80s Dune is that whole like battle and fight.
Well, the
knife fight with Sting.
Yeah, the 80s Dune, there's like maybe 20 minutes after Dune 1 leaves off. If you're comparing like shot for shot or whatever.
And they fight and
so
stuff.
they turned part 2 of Dune 2024 version out of like the last 20 some minutes.
Well, yeah, so I'm currently reading the Dune book. I'm halfway through, so I'm at the point in reading.
Nerd.
I'm at the part in reading about 20 minutes before the first movie ends, but it's split into 3 books. Anyway, the point is, there's a ton of action in it. All of us enjoyed this movie much more than the first one, but we agreed you wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much if you didn't have all the backstory. You know, you got to know why this guy's pissed. You got to know why that guy's walking like that. You got to know, you got to be excited when a certain character appears and you're like, yeah, you're just as excited as Paul Dune.
Right.
Well, his mammal.
When Boromir shows up.
Yeah. And you're like, man, you know, he's going to get killed.
Yeah.
But it was exceptional. They're going to make more.
They're going to make another Dune movie?
Yeah, they have to.
Okay.
The way this one ends, there's more to come.
Oh.
So it's actually...
I thought they were just doing 2.
No.
Okay.
I hope not. Because if they did, then they ended this one weirdly.
Okay.
You know, but there's...
So they didn't destroy the ring.
There's 3 or 4 books. 3 or 4 Dune books.
I thought there was 3.
Well, there were like 18.
Oh,
but there's 3 or 4 that Frank Herbert actually wrote.
Gotcha.
And then his son took over with some other dude. And I've heard that those are hit or miss, mostly miss.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Tolkien wrote The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and then he kicked the bucket. And then his son, Christopher Tolkien, took over and started writing more stuff. Tolkien himself wrote the Silmarillion. But they wrote like additional tales. And those have kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Your mileage may vary. Yeah. But Dune 2 is exceptional.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And like I said, so since I couldn't watch...
well, hold on.
Okay.
I'm not going to get political.
Okay.
But it would be fun if some of you can find someone that you disagree with vehemently in politics. Like if you're left, take your right-leaning friend. And if you're right, take your left-leaning friend. And then see the movie. And then tell us how that turned out. Tell us about the conversation in the car on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
And who raises their voice first, and who points out that this guy is just like this real guy, and this guy is just like that real guy. And if that damn son of a whatever is in power or stays in power or gets in power, then this and that. That'll be fun.
The only problem I have, and this is a spoiler that I saw, I wish I hadn't, but you know how so oftentimes there's product placement in a movie.
Yeah.
And the guy holding the can of Old Spice deodorant, like, really?
There is something that caused me and Bess to laugh out. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Well, we are Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
There was something that made me and Bess laugh out loud in the movie, and we were one of the few people that laughed, but I think it was generally meant to be funny. All hell breaks loose at one point, and one of the characters, the one most likely to say something like this, out of the blue just goes, "What the hell?" And
hey, what happened?
Because everybody, that's what you're thinking. You're like, what is going on? He just vocalized it, and it was beautiful.
Time now for the AMC Theater Story of the Week.
Are you a Stubbs member, an AMC Stubbs member?
Yeah.
Do you have the card?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't have the card. I have the phone, app. I scan that.
I bought the card forever ago. Okay. And we are Stub happy. We just stubbing all over the place.
Yeah.
And a while back, we stopped getting the rewards. They said your card, it's still registered, or we can still scan your card, but you're no longer able to get the points because you have to go online and register or something. And for the longest time, because we never went to the movies.
Yeah.
Okay. We just didn't. And I just put it in my wallet and I forgot about it for the longest time. I'm like, holy crap, I still have a stub card. So I thought, you know what, Darin, get off your ass and figure out this stub card, because I'm sure I probably have a handful or more of free movies.
Yeah.
Or like 28 free popcorns or something, all built up on this card. So I go and I'm looking on the card, back at the card, to customer service, and there's a website, and I went to the website, and there's the phone number, and I called the phone number. The phone number says, we don't have somebody that answers the phone, but you can send a direct message to our Facebook page, or you can go, you can text us, or you can something on the Twitter X. And so I thought, okay, so I sent a private message to AMC Theater.
You got in their DMs.
I slid into their DMs. And let me tell you something.
Hello.
As much as I hate dealing with bots, the bot at AMC Theater is on the ball.
Really?
Holy crap.
Quality bot.
I have never had better customer service from a bot than I have with AMC Theater.
That's nice.
I wrote in, what's the problem? I said, I'm trying to register this card and I'm not getting anywhere. It says, well, let's see. Have you tried Bing, Bing, Bing? And so I tried that.
Was the icon for the bot Nicole Kidman?
No, no, but it was named Clip. Clip.
Not Clippy.
No, just Clip. Yeah.
That way goes the lawyers to come down.
So Clip says, try this, and I tried that, and it still wasn't working exactly.
Thanks
so
a lot,
said,
Clip.
I said, I tried that, still having problems. I can't get my. I said, I suspect this was made under an old email. I can't find where to change the email. And he says, can you send me a screenshot? Luckily, I know how to do a screenshot, so I sent the screenshot.
Did you take a Polaroid of it and mail it in?
I went into my dark room and I developed it. And so I sent the screenshot, and the Clip says, hey, okay, good, try this. Sends me another link. I get the 6-digit code. I do all this stuff, and I finally, dude, it allows me to change my email. Nice. It allows me to update the password.
Nice.
But there's the last thing that says continue at the bottom, but continue isn't lit up. You know how it's not?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
you haven't done something.
The only option was go back. Like, I don't want to go back. I want to continue, but I can't. So I reached out to Clip again. I said, it won't let me continue.
Yeah.
It says, we're not exactly sure what your problem is. Send us another screenshot. I sent the screenshot with continue. You have to go in and click a preferred theater. Because it's like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And so you go into where it says preferred theater.
Yeah.
And you go to the right, and then you find the one that we went, and boom, boom. And I did it.
Boom.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And I did this problem. I fixed it by myself.
That's impressive. Clip helped you.
Well, but usually, because Libby saw that I was frustrated. She goes, here, let me see it. And I'm like, no, woman, sit there. I'm the man, and I have this.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, I handled it myself.
That's what she said.
And honest to God, Libby usually is the one who deals with this. Because when we had trouble with Jacob's financial aid, Libby's the one who solved that problem.
Okay.
The last time we had a problem with our taxes and why did this form not go through, Libby solved that. Okay. So all that non-real important stuff she took care of. I took care of the AMC stub card.
There you go. Well, I mean,
anyway, AMC Theater, you guys have a very good bot helper, and you go, girl.
This has been the AMC Theater Story of the Week.
Did you have to pee, Mike?
I did. Now here, ladies and gentlemen, when you're in your like 20s or whatever, this is not for you.
You can go like 3 or 4 days without peeing.
Yeah, you're like a camel. You got a camel bladder. Us senior level seasoned veterans.
It's safe to say I have more years in front of me than I do behind me. Not by many. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you have to plan for this. So, I mean, when I did my U2 thing, I knew I was going to be standing sans bathroom for a while. Some people put on the Depends and just let fly.
Are you serious?
That happens.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that somebody did that when I saw Friday night, because I was behind somebody going up the steps to get out. And
did you hear? Was it squishy?
It was like I was right behind a urinal.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I didn't hear any sloshing, but he had definitely planted his flag. So we're going to see Dune, which is, I don't know, it's like 6.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And there's 90 minutes.
7.5 with the credits.
90 minutes
and
of
the
previews.
Yeah.
And I knew I'm sitting dead center. I don't want to like, excuse me. I'll do it.
Yeah.
But so all that day I'm planning my water intake and everything. I'm not drinking a Monster drink like I normally do, because that just, you might as well, the hell with it at
no coffee.
Point. Yeah.
No soda.
I'm kind of annoyed that I have to plan my pee. I should, when I was dealing with the U2 thing, I had enough on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
I had enough on my plate.
Yeah.
It was cold. I'm standing in line.
I think what you're saying is you had enough on your plate.
I had enough on it.
Enough, David.
And when we go to the movie, I'm busy trying to keep all these characters together. Like, that's the lady from the other that did the thing.
Right.
She's got tattoos on her face now, but it's the same lady.
Right,
because you could tell because she has a blue thing here, and the other lady has a red thing.
Right.
They have all these shrouds, but that's how you tell them. Oh, they switched heads. Okay, now. So I'm trying to think of all that.
Yeah.
And then you got that worm coming up, making that sound and scaring the piss out of you, almost literally. So as the movie's progressing, my ability to remain transfixed by the movie starts to go away because I'm going to eat popcorn, and I get a large popcorn. Andrew said, "Do you really need a large popcorn?" And I stared a hole through him and I said, "Boy, mind your business. Dad's getting the bucket."
You speak when spoken to.
And I got the bucket, and I always down the bucket, and I got a big water.
I don't know how you eat an entire bucket of popcorn, but
Every time I get one, I say, I'm getting this because I know I'll never eat the whole thing. I don't want to be in a theater and want for popcorn. I don't want to be at a concert and want for a beer.
Right.
So I will make sure that I have one of each in those random locations, but you got to be careful. So I hit the point about halfway through Dune, about 3 hours in, like I need to manage this because where they are right now, I think I've got 2 or 3 hours left and I'm not going to make it.
Right.
And I realized I'd finished the water. There just needs to be a way. I didn't do this because I was with Bess and the kids. I thought about the bottle, just like empty the bottle and then pee in the bottle because then I don't have to leave.
Oh my God, that's what homeless people do. No.
Yeah.
You don't know. I get arrested for public indecency.
I thought about
and
it. I didn't say I did it. Well, I put the cap on it. I'm not crazy.
What? It's like, what the hell?
Hey, when the worm came up, I could have in my seat and nobody would have heard it. My point is, I don't know if I don't have any medicines that I take. There's got to be, and I'm not going to go to the doctor for this because I don't want to end up on an FBI watch list. There's got to be something you can take that will cease you from peeing for the next 8 hours or next 10 hours. Is there something like that? There
is, and I can't remember what it's called.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need a prescription for that. Or if it's a tab or if it's a patch, pee away, a Peter-shaped patch you put on your arm, something. Because I don't want to be thirsty.
It's a patch.
They got stuff for everything else. There's people with stuff all over, taking pills for everything.
Yeah.
There's got to be a pill for the dude that wants to sit through Dune without peeing.
Yeah.
It's a big problem.
Did you end up going or did you?
No, I waited. Okay. I managed it all the way to the end. I'm just saying the amount of brain that I had to place on that when you're seeing a movie like Dune, you need all your faculties about you to...
Yeah.
Because, it's not that easy.
No.
Yoda, you know who Yoda is in Star Wars. He's a little green dude with the ears.
Oh, that's Yoda.
That's Yoda.
I thought that was
and the guys
Fett.
with the blue and green lightsabers are the good guys, and purple for Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
And then all the guys with the red lightsabers or the wiggly lightsabers with the thing coming out, they're the bad guys. Kylo Ren, his thing.
Yeah.
You can easily tell who's who.
Yeah.
But in Dune, they're switching helmets. They're putting, at one point, Paul Dune puts a head thing on and he looks just like everybody else. I mean, you got to pay attention to what the hell's going on.
I love how you call him Paul Dune, which is a reference to an episode like 173 episodes ago.
I was going to say, I'm going to link that into one of these things so people can go back and listen to the original Dune
Paul Dune's Mamaw.
episode. Paul Dune's Mamaw. She's in there, and you talk about headset changes, man. It's like every scene she's got a different headdress thing going on with varying degrees of being able to see in there, and you need to know which one's his Mamaw and which ones ain't.
Yeah.
You literally do.
Yeah.
You'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it. You'll be looking. There'll be a point near the end of the movie where your brain will say, "Where's his Oh, there's his Mamaw."
Yeah.
And then she moves. It's like, oh, Mamaw's over there. Mamaw's up to something. And she is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're all up to something.
Yeah. And it's in the trailer. He spots her and he yells out, "Silence."
He said, "Hey, Mamaw, shut it."
And she says, "Paul Atreides, you didn't eat your cookies or something." He yells out, "Silence." And it does that, the voice. He uses the voice on her. You got to know where Mamaw is when that happens.
Yeah.
And you can't do that when your eyeballs are floating.
Right.
Just saying.
When I go, I will probably go all day without drinking something, and then I'll use the bathroom 5 times before the show just to make sure. Because when I saw Avengers Endgame, I didn't have any popcorn. I didn't have any soda. Usually, when I go to the movies, I sneak in a Mountain Dew because Daddy loves the Mountain Dew, and I bring some peanut M&Ms, and Libby and I will split a popcorn. And what I do is I put 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 M&Ms in my mouth with a handful of popcorn, same time.
I mean,
shut up.
I mean,
Holy crap.
who doesn't do that?
Salty popcorn with the delicious scent from heaven above, M&Ms, wash it down with the Mountain Dew. But I didn't do any of that because Daddy's not going to miss one frame of this movie.
Because as soon as you leave to go pee, that's when Captain America picks up Thor's hammer.
Yes.
You know, that's what's going to happen.
And then I come back, what did I miss? And Libby be like,
there's a moment in Dune 2 where I was like, I could go pee right now because nothing's going to happen. And it was 30, and I'm not kidding, 30 seconds later when I would have been in the bathroom peeing, probably one of the biggest scenes of the entire, both movies happened. I would have missed it. I would have been shaking the weenie.
And here's the thing.
And come back, and then Andrew would have been like, dude, bro, you missed it. And,
here's the thing. They won't pause the movie.
Even if
they
you
won't.
yell.
No, they won't do that.
Are you a fan of Irritable Dad Syndrome? Then show your support by wearing a stylish Irritable Dad Syndrome t-shirt. Our shirts are designed with 3 of our most famous, hilarious catchphrases. You need to learn more words? Put the thing on the thing? And in my defense, I thought it was funny. They come in a variety of sizes and colors. If you're a guy, women will see this shirt and instantly want to go out with you.
That's right.
So be the envy of all your friends and buy one today. Irritable Dad Syndrome t-shirts. Available now at irritabledadsyndrome.com.
You were talking about medications. When we were watching Dune 2 or Dune, the original one, there was a commercial for a product called Xiaflex, Xiaflex. Now,
that's if you have a rigid Z, you take Xiaflex.
I'm not making fun of the people who have this condition.
Okay.
I'm really not. There are people who have what's called a curved or bent erection. Okay. And apparently there's scar tissue that forms in the erection and it's very painful. Okay. So if anybody suffers from, I can't remember what it's called.
Bent Peter syndrome.
Bent Peter syndrome. Yeah. If you have painful erections, I'm sorry. And I'm not making fun of you. But this product, Xiaflex, Xiaflex, their website, and in the commercial, they're talking about if you have this symptom. And what do they use? They use a bent carrot. Mike, there's a carrot that looks like a banana, kind of shaped sharp on one end.
Why wouldn't they just use a banana?
Right, but they use a bent carrot, and their website is bentcarrot.com. So if you have a painful bent erection, you can go to bentcarrot.com and get hold of this medicine that will help with your painful erection.
Do they have Bugs Bunny as a mascot?
But I'm like,
with Marvin the Martian? I don't know why my Peter's been.
That makes me very, very angry. So this is a painful thing. A very, very painful. And they say, hey, well, how about we have a bent carrot? Why don't we go to bentcarrot.com? You know that they had a meeting.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do we really, really bring in the people who have painful erections? I don't know, bentcarrot.com? I love it, Larry. Love it.
Do they have special doctors you can go to if you have something like that that's you don't really want to? Nobody wants to go to their family physician. You don't want to go to the guy that's been for like 20 years you've been going to and say, I got a bent Peter.
Right. Right.
They should have like a special doctor.
I think you can go to your I think a urologist might be able to help. I don't know. Yeah. Again, I want people to know I'm not making fun of the symptom. I'm not making fun of people who have painful erections.
I think that's when AI and robots are really going to take off. That's going to be the bent Peter doctor. C-3PO down the road.
What's wrong with your penis?
Yeah. Oh, it's bent like a carrot. Choose the carrot that looks most like your penis, and you pick it. I don't know. Whatever the pill is, it just dumps out of a little thing in its chest and gives it to you.
Bentcarrot.com?
Yeah.
We're not going to take this seriously at all.
Yeah.
and we're going to get sued over this podcast.
Yeah.
Zeoflex, they are never going to be a sponsor of this podcast.
Not much you can do with a bent Peter or a bent carrot.
Well.
I would think. Don't write in.
Right.
Don't send pictures.
I don't want to know what
wanna...
you can do with yours. And again, if you have this symptom, I apologize, and I'm sorry that you're going through the excruciating pain that you're going through.
I'm having a little bit of pain right now just hearing about this.
Yeah.
Because
But Libby and I were watching
like
that.
Dog legs. Dogleg.com would be
Boomerang.com.
what the
just go to elbow.com and get that fixed.
Yeah. Take a left. It's right
Lickety-split.
there on the left.com.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it.
I'm going to give an update
Yeah.
on the board game Catan.
Okay. Or Catan.
Catan.
Some say it.
The last time we talked, we had paused a game, and Daddy was almost about to win it, right? And I had told my wife to stand down.
Your wife started fronting you a little bit. Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I'm about to rub the boy's face in it, especially the older one.
Teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won that game. Okay. We picked it up, and within 2 turns, I had won the game. I got 10 points, won handily. Okay. I haven't won since. We have decided that it would be best for the family that we put the board game away for a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to bury it in the yard like Jumanji. Because Libby has won 3 games in a row, and she has smoked us.
Oh my gosh.
And then she's like, I don't know why I keep winning.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, it's just so. Did you see that? How did I do this? And we're all like, pipe it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with an unexplained evening, a dirty shovel, part of a Netflix documentary.
But all 3 of the last games, Mike, I was winning.
Yeah.
Okay. I was winning. Daddy was ahead. I had 6 points, and then I had 2 from my deck because you can draw development cards. I drew 2 development cards. Each of those gives you a victory point that you can only use at the end of the game.
Okay.
So I had 2 victory points.
Okay.
And I was 6 points on the board. Okay. All I needed to do was score 2 more, cash in my 2 development card victory points, and then I will win the game. Well, Libby, 2 of those 3 games, she beat me by building a longer road than I have. If you have the longest road, you get 2 points for having the longest road.
Yeah.
If somebody builds a road longer than yours, then they take your 2 points. So I had.
What if your road dog legs to the left?
You go to bentcarrot.com.
Okay.
I had 6 points. Okay. I had 6 points on my hand. Okay.
Yeah.
And then 2 victory points that I could cash in at the end. So she takes those 2 points, which knocked me back down to 4.
Okay.
And then she made it up to 9. And then the next turn around, oh my goodness, I don't know how I did that. Wow, isn't that? Wow, that's like.
Yeah.
And I got so mad.
Yeah.
I stormed out of the house and slammed the door like Yosemite Sam.
That dirty Turkish back flat and Borton, Philip Bucket Barton, Perkaluma Burton, Durton, Boston, Martin, and Idaho.
And then I came back in. And we played again, and she won again like that.
Yeah.
She took my longest road a second time. The third time that we were playing, my God, Jacob built the longest road with like freaking 13 stretches of road or something.
Jeez.
Yeah. And she still beat him. And then she's like, I just don't know how I keep doing this. So we're like, shut it.
Yeah.
It's not you gloating. It's not pretty. And she's pretty. Okay, Libby is a very pretty woman.
See, the deal is, the victory is much better if you can either rub people's faces in it, like make them think they're winning, and then destroy them. I don't quite like the I don't know how this happened.
Right.
I prefer the more Machiavellian. Let them get right to the edge of victory and then destroy them.
Yeah, and then it would have been better had she said, "That's what you get."
Yeah.
Hey, Darin, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but We did put the game away for a little bit.
I need to learn.
And by the way, kids, it is so much fun. We have never had this much fun with especially with board games.
Okay.
Board games are very, very hit and miss.
Yeah.
Jacob always wants to play Monopoly, and I hate Monopoly, but we will play. And then I had mentioned Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
Everybody loves playing Ticket to Ride except for Cameron. So Catan, whatever. We all love playing that. And outside of that and Uno, there's not really many games that we will all... Oh, and we'll play bull.
I'm trying to think what games we agree on. There was one that we played at New Year's that we all really liked, and I can't remember the name of it. But no, there's a board game that was turned into a computer game, a Dune. It's called Dune Imperium. And it was available at Barnes & Noble forever. And somebody turned that into a computer game that's getting overwhelmingly positive stuff. It was like $7, so I picked it up. And I started going through the tutorial, and like 45 minutes into the tutorial, I was just completely, I get this card and it gives me 2 spice, but I can't use those spice because I don't have a thing, and that thing's on another planet, and I can't get it because the beast Raban is over there, and the Harkonnen is doing. I was like, and it's one of those where it like plays the card for you and says, clearly you should play your water card. I was like, really? I didn't even know I had a water card.
Do you remember I told you about that game on the phone that I was like discussing with the king who's in the room and it's on fire? And you got to do the Candy Crush to let all the smoke out before he dies. Or sometimes the room will fill with water before he dies. I was like, you know what? I'm bored. I'm going to download this game and I'm going to see if I can save the king.
Yeah, the king. And it's none of that.
The king's not even there.
Yeah.
You have to play. I went and I looked. I'm like, how many freaking levels do I have to play before I get to the king? 500.
Ugh.
Like 500?
Yeah.
I'll be dead before I play 500 levels of this.
But I actually, with our VR, there's a VR version of Catan, and it's weird. It like puts you like you're in this temple on a mountain because you're in VR. You can be anywhere, and it's got the Catan board game, and it was trying to teach me like you reach out and you move the pieces, and I couldn't. The computer is like, just put this here, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing that,
right?
And I vaguely know what that is, but I think I'm too dumb for these things.
Well, if I can play it, anybody can.
Yeah. I'd like to shoot.
You didn't have to agree with me that quickly.
I get the shooty.
Yeah, you are stupid.
By the way, this was on the rundown. I do need to talk about this since we're talking about games. Me and Charlie and I and Charlie have. Okay. So I am a COD player.
Hello.
Call of Duty.
Okay.
Not the fish.
Okay.
Before y'all roll your eyes and start typing stuff, I've been playing Call of Duties since before they began, when the development team was making other games and then moved over to making COD. I've played them all. I've had them all. I grind my camos. I live and die. I've accepted it. So I, being the Gen X boomer, am allowed to be a COD guy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
My kids have been on the Fortnite. They've been on the Rocket League. They make fun of Boomer Dad playing COD. Nobody plays COD. I'm like, well, somebody is out there because I'm shooting them every night. So I know somebody else is playing it. Warzone hits. For those of you who don't know what Warzone is, you got your Fortnite where everybody like parachutes in 100 people, and then the person that survives or the squad that survives wins. Warzone is that, but in COD land. And I love Warzone so much better than Fortnite because it never made sense to me where if somebody's shooting at you, instead of shooting back or hiding, you start building a fort. I'm not going to do that in real life. It's just stupid, right? So I go Warzone.
Where's my damn hammer?
So they implemented a thing, and I don't know when they did this because I usually play it solo, Warzone solo, but Charlie randomly decided he wants to play COD. So I got him set up. I convinced him to play a duo of Warzone with Dad. There's a little button on there called proximity chat. And you're like, Mike, what's proximity chat?
I was going to ask you that.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
So both me and Charlie have our headsets on, much like how you have it on, and we can speak to each other. We're in the same group. No matter where we are on the map, we can talk to each other. Proximity chat is where people can hear us that aren't in our group if we're close to them. And we sound really low in the volume if we're far away, and we're really loud when we're right next to you. So it's supposed to make things more realistic. to be able to hear when somebody's in the building with you and they're talking.
Right.
You can tell where they are and then just like shoot them through a door.
I wouldn't use it because it gives you away.
It is one of the most hilarious moments I've ever had in gaming in my entire life, because me and Charlie were hiding in a building. We weren't hiding, we were looting, and then we hear people talking and clomping boots on the floor. And then me and Charlie say, get over here, get over here. And they opened the door and Charlie screamed while he's shooting at him. I scream, they start screaming, and they're running away. One of them Charlie capped one of them almost immediately. And we're chasing the other one through this skyscraper at this point. And he's screaming, no. He parachutes out. We parachute out. We're chasing him across the field. I'm barely able to breathe at this point because he's screaming, run away. And Charlie is running after him, screaming, shooting. It's a glorious moment.
Yeah.
So I want to tell everyone that I've started streaming our gaming things on my Rock Hardly. I'm going to do a little plug here.
Okay.
I don't stream the gaming on Irritable Dad Syndrome anymore because I want to keep those separate. But if you all want to hang out with your boy, follow me at Rock Hardly on the Twitches. And then when I go live, most of the time I'll be going live with Charlie, and I'm telling you, it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
He'll start screaming. The other night he almost won. I was dead. I was dead for a long time. But me and Andrew are watching. We're up here screaming. He's down here screaming. It was a hoot.
Yeah.
So,
and an unrelated note, if you want to follow me, whenever I go to my 4-H club meetings, you can follow those at Darin Loves Bacon on the Twitter.
Yes,
that's 4-H at Darin Loves Bacon _.net.
Fun
hashtag,
fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact: the #1 fan of Irritable Dad Syndrome is Darin Loves Bacon on X.
That's me. Yeah. If you're on Twitter, go to Darin Loves Bacon.
Yeah,
and
go there.
It's like, honest to God, the most one of the least popular people on Twitter. It's sad. It is so sad. And Darin Loves Bacon. I used to be popular on Twitter. Not anymore.
We used to have people, like, every once in a while we gain followers, and I want to message them like, what are you doing?
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers Bacon. Every piece of Whoppers Bacon has at least 95% meat, or you'll get your money back, guaranteed. Now back to the show.
Daddy, me, built a supercomputer for me.
Oh, does it fight crime?
It's amazing. And everything's wonderful and beautiful. It has its own desk.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. It's bright. It has colors.
Yeah.
It plays COD
does
like
it
a dream.
Have a mouse?
It has a mouse.
A wireless mouse or a wired
I use
mouse?
wired.
See, I use a wired mouse too.
Yeah. I used to have a wireless, and then I just it died, and I went wired ever since. And I use a wired keyboard.
I was like, I'm not a bragger. I was like, ooh, look at me, my wireless mouse.
Well, yeah, I'm a gamer too, and that little, like, here's the thing is it's like 1 millisecond difference in lag between wired and wireless. I ignore the fact that I'm 48 years old, and there's probably a 3 full second lag of me going, what the is that over there? What is that? Because Charlie, when we were playing together, he was seeing things left and right that I was just running right by. And I acknowledge that, but I still want that 1 millisecond advantage.
Yeah.
But the point is, I had a beautiful keyboard to go with this beautiful computer. Daddy had a rule. Ain't nobody eating or doing anything around the computer.
No.
I don't want any of these people that I live with spilling anything on my fancy new computer. My fancy new computer that I share with the family.
Yeah, you people need to stay away from it.
And I put a full glass, Irritable Dad Syndrome glass, by the way, of root beer.
Those are available at irritabledadsyndrome.com, by the way. Go to the store.
And I was reaching over to get my Cheetos, and I knocked the entire glass into...
And what was in the glass, Mike?
Root beer.
Oh.
This fancy...
Root beer's really sticky.
Fancy lit up keyboard. And I just watched it happen. I cussed.
That dirty Turkish back flatten, Borton, Silla, Bucket, Barton, Perkaluma, Burton, Durton, Boston, Martin, and Adam.
I got up, I got a full roll of paper. It's in pieces now because I took the keys out. I'm like, I'm going to get the root beer out. It's all in the circuit boards and the stuff. Fun fact, these lighty keyboards, there's a bit more to them than normal keyboards. There's all kinds of fancy stuff. There's like little Oompa Loompas running around in there making the lights happen. Yeah. Well, figuratively speaking.
Okay.
So I had to get a new keyboard. And it's a nice keyboard. I've read reviews. It's a nice keyboard. But I miss my other keyboard. But as I was telling you before we came down here, if anyone else in the family, and I know this is wrong, so don't send me letters or anything. If anyone else in the family had done it, I would have risen holy hell.
What? No! God, please, no! No!
What are you doing
I
with
told
your
you,
juice box?
I've told you
coffee,
once, I've told you 1,000 times.
But then when I did it, it was... Well...
Yep.
I can't just go to bed and leave it like this. It's gonna warp the wood that the desk. You know, you're a broken carrot.
Go to brokencarrot.com.
So I got it out of the way, and I bought the new keyboard. Now it was me, so I'm like, I've already taken the hit. Here's the new keyboard. If it were anybody else in the family, yes, I would have walked in. I've returned, family, with this keyboard that I spent exactly this amount of money on because somebody can't keep their drinks in their glasses out of the room where the computer is. I didn't say that.
Right.
All I did was say, a new keyboard in there.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And Bess is like, what do you mean a new keyboard? I spilled a Mountain Dew on the thing. A Mountain Dew? You don't drink Mountain Dew. I meant root beer. You know what? I just...
Hush, woman.
So we get a new keyboard whenever you make a mistake, but Okay. All right. Charlie, you spilt a thing on the key? Yes, Daddy spilled it. That's why Daddy doesn't want anybody with drinks in there on the computer. Are you going to quit drinking? No, because it's my computer. I thought it was the family's computer. It is. Daddy needs his
One of my children, who will remain nameless, asked the question, well, how come we have to do this, but you don't have to do this?
Because I bought it.
Because I am the dad. That's why. I
was telling Bess the other day, I said, this is our house.
Yeah.
If you look, there's a banister over there with wooden things. This is our house.
Yeah.
If the zombie apocalypse hits and we need spears, there's 12 good spears right there.
Yeah.
I've got knives upstairs. I can sharpen those in spears.
Spears. Spears.
Might cut myself doing it.
I would love to see you try to make a spear.
I
would love nothing more than to see you take it.
I got this shelf over here I can make a bonfire out of. I just noticed there's a Dr. Pepper can. Wonder how long that's been there. I'm just saying.
You know what? Honest to God, after so many episodes of The Walking Dead, I start thinking, it's like, well, okay, so I got the bat. I've got the aluminum bat. I have some swords. I was looking through the garage. I'm like, this would be good in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever talk about that out loud and have your family look at you weird? Because I have my favorite.
My family looks at me weird nonstop.
I've got my favorite knife upstairs. It's a big knife. It's a knife that if you saw it in a horror movie, it's like, that's going to come back. That's going to come into play sometime.
Yep.
I keep it sharp all the time, ready to cut peppers and chicken whenever I need to.
Yeah.
But in the unlikely event of a zombie apocalypse.
Yep. Brains.
I don't know if there's somebody in The Walking Dead that has like a Cuisinart knife.
It's going right in the temple.
That's me.
That's what you do.
If you look right over there, you see that electric guitar, that the axe, as it were.
Yes.
Mine and Bess's first house. You know, when there's sounds in the bottom floor.
Yeah.
Can you go check that out?
All right.
We didn't have any weapons or anything in the house. I had that guitar.
So
I went down the stairs
with an electric guitar.
With electric guitar. Over my head, ready to bring it down. I'm telling you, those things have some heft to them.
Yeah.
That's solid, whatever that is. Oh. Now, I likely would have accidentally hit myself or broken a string. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if I break a string.
Right.
But, I've seen Kurt Cobain slam those things down. They can make a dent in the floor. But see, that's all the way down.
You went in the basement with an electric guitar.
No, we didn't have a basement. That house, we just had a crawl space.
The downstairs.
We were up in the bedroom, and I had to go down and explore the first floor. Never did figure out what made the sound, but it it didn't feel the wrath of my Charvel.
Was it Bill Burr or Jeff Fox?
It was Bill Burr. Yeah.
Equal rights.
Yeah,
Honey, go downstairs and check on the noise. Yeah.
Where are the bullets? You're in the living room. He's in the living room.
Well, guys, I think this has been another winner. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself.
I had a great
I really
time.
don't care if any of you
I
did.
hope you had a good time too. Yeah.
If you like what you heard, go to bentcarrot.com.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we want you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com.
Yes.
And download every episode. We really appreciate it. And
follow us on the Apple Podcast, damn it.
Follow us.
Or
and
Spotify.
Share this with your friends.
Share it.
Honest to God.
The hell?
Yeah. Our downloads have been kind of...
They suck right now.
They've been kind of low lately. We need some help.
And every year
Daddy needs your help.
It seems like March sucks. But we've had a dry spell. It's like we got a bent Peter.
We're not going into the Podcast Hall of Fame with these kind of numbers, people.
No.
So tell your friends about it, for God's sake. Please.
Yes.
Lord help. We're going to go. We'll see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Yeah.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
Have you given up on me?
Yeah, I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like to cut your jib.
What? Hello.
Whoa.
Hello. Every time you're near, you know no lie. God, do you listen to anything I tell you?
What?
I love to play with fish.
Everything's under control.
Everything is beautiful.
It looks like you're in the basement of the house that I'm in the upstairs room of, keeping you.
Hey, Mike, shut up. Bent carrot.
Bent carrot. CurvedPeter.org.
Oh boy, we're gonna get sued.